guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. In this episode, we're definitely gonna start up these two facilities. Now, I did say something about starting our little promenade over here. I might put that on the back burner just a little bit because the real thing that we need to do is get these two up and running. So one of the key things we need to do is just have a look at what it is that we're supplying to these guys. So this, I believe, is our chemical store, so we will limit the amounts, and everything is basically going to be set to 0, apart from chemicals, which will be 1 or 100, at least in this context. So let's just make sure to get rid of that guy as well, and we set it up like that. So we'll basically have 330 tons of chemicals being able to store here. What else are we bringing in? We are bringing in gravel from over here. We may have to have a bit of a look at providing, so crops and crops. Basically crops is what's going to go in here, right? That's basically going to be crops. Oh, no. Oh, hang on. Park that for a second. I didn't quite realize. So this is in fact going to be wood. So let's zero everything out, put that to wood, right? So 400 tons of wood can be stored over here. That can move in here, and then this will then have to be jointly used for chemicals and for crops. Okay, so if we said maybe 25% crops and 75% chemicals, what does those numbers look like? Is that going to give us approximately the right amount? Crops to chemicals is about equal. So I'm fairly comfortable with that. 220 tons of crops is going to be okay. Then on this side, we are basically drawing in chemicals and pushing it out that one, which is why I'm kind of wondering whether we reduce that a little bit, but I guess it's gonna, we'll play it by ear. So this one is going to push out plastics on this side, basically. So we'll quickly go, and it's pretty loud with all of these helicopters around. So let's move it up a little bit to get it a little bit better. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. And that gives us 275 tons over there. So for every 10 tons of chemicals, we'll do 22 tons. Okay, so that looks okay. We'll keep everything else going. What we do need to do is get some oil over here. Now, what oil is obviously ready to go right over here. And we are struggling a little bit with oil. So we may have to do something with oil imports or tap another source or something of that nature. Now, if we have a quick look at what our infrastructure is saying, so this is so we can load and unload over here, or we've got oil coming in straight through here into this facility, and we're currently using all of it. Kind of wondering whether I should drop that down a little bit, but we are exporting all of this, and then it can also be sent over here to this facility, or we could look at sending it through over to that facility. So I guess the plan would be that we use the other output here, and we quickly get a few more of these going. So what is this? This is a foreign pipeline connection. If we just wanted some fairly bare bones piping, underground pump 1. I'm not too well. It just gives me one spot, right? So if we say we'll put it in here, I just want to see. That should be able to reach here, right? So we'll do one there. Let's have a quick look. Can we then underground it all the way to here? And the question is, do we take it even further, right? So if we grab that instead and put it maybe over here. Can we get all the way there? We can get all the way there. So we don't need to do as many potentially. Where does it become a problem? too long. So over here somewhere. Okay, well let's not waste time, and let's just go kind of straight into this spot. Maybe somewhere over here where it will be powered. I hope this will work. I'm guessing it might. Come on. It does, and we could even. I mean, well, we wouldn't be getting much further than that. So let's do that. What I will do is I'll get rid of these two. This is the first thing we're going to do. We're going to get it up and running. I know we're paused for the time being. And then we'll have probably one more to fill up a little bit of a tank over here, just so that we don't kind of run into too many problems. So if we went to say, where are we going into? Over there and over here. So I'm guessing a little tank somewhere over here to fill up as a bit of a buffer zone is probably all right. I didn't necessarily think we need to be very large on it, but probably around the 300 mark. Maybe this one is about right. So if I just pause out there for a second, how much do we actually need? So, we can actually fill up here, but it's about 14 tons per day versus 19 tons per day. So we need just over 100 for a day's worth of production. But yeah, this 90 is pretty high. So maybe something like 300 or so is about right. Let's just go back in there, grab it, and get it ready. We'll want some additional pumps yet again. So what is that? 300, and then maybe a 600. Maybe we'll do a quick 600 over here. We'll have a bit of a tie-in in that spot there. Okay, that's okay, and we'll give ourselves one here, and or forget about too much of that. Let's just get with just do one that has two. I think this gives me two. Okay. Well, it actually gives me more than two, right? Gives me three. Pipes times two, pipe times three. I have no idea why. This one. Does this one give me two? So if we were to say, just want to have a quick look. If I did this, and we did that, well, let's do that one to there, and then this one to there. It's above ground. I guess it's above ground. That one is below ground. I don't mind switching it over to above ground. Okay. Hang on. Why am I struggling with this? Let's pull it back a tad to over there. And then what I guess we'll do is come up here somewhere, just to above ground like so, and then we'll just do the last tie-in over there. Okay, so we'll sign that. That means all of this will work, and what we can also do is bring our underground pipe in like this, so we'll be able to pump it into both directions. So I guess that's going to be just fine. Now, can we? Yeah, I think we should be able to get it here quite without any problems, and we'll sign that up for construction as well. Pretty cool. And we'll just tie that in so that we at least have a little bit of room to play with. Now, let's get a few of these guys assigned for construction. So please come along and construct. All of that, please. Construct all of that. Construct all of this. Oh, this guy doesn't have an access point. Let's provide, and let's get it all ready to go. This one needs to be built. I'm going to pay for that so that we can assign this one to be built as well. Perfect. Okay. So that gives us the oil. The other stuff is coming in. I am going to pay for a few things. So thank you so much for all your support in that. I'm going to start just paying for a little slither of things over here so that we can get our rail up and running. This is slightly more complex over here, and it'll be a bit of a micromanagement disaster to get all of that to get done. So I guess everything up to there, let's just see, is all of that done? Let's make sure all of this is done. That should be fine. And then we have a little slither over here that's not done. So let's just finish that off. And I guess that means we're ready to go. So I can go ahead and quickly do my signaling. So let's have a bit of a look here all together. How are we going to do this? So we can bring in crops by rail and crops and wood by rail. Ultimately, we cannot come in from this side, right? Yeah, so we can't come in from this side unless we... We can come in from this side over here, but not into this particular one. So I'm kind of tempted to add a little extra slither in here, just to make it a little bit more flexible. Now, it might be a little bit of overkill, but I am thinking. Let's start off by giving ourselves the spot where we want to run the train track. Don't do that. Do that. Perfect. Then we come in. Do we? I guess this is okay. So we come in over there, and we come in like so. We hug all of this. Let's bring it a little bit back to about over there. I might have another look at this, at what I'm doing here. And then the idea being that we tie in where? Hang on. Let's have a quick look. We want to tie in, I guess we could just do a pretty straightforward tie in like that. And then what we could do is we could do this. And we could run this one in here and tie it in probably like this, yeah? I guess that's okay, because that'll actually get us in here, get us to all of this, and we can make use of all of what we're seeing here. So it can get in there. What it can't do, of course, is, well, it can. It can get from this one to that one, and it can get from this one back out to that one in case it wanted to run. Yeah, and it can go from that one in there as well. It doesn't need to exit out into this one. Anyway, that's okay. What I'll quickly do, I'm just going to try and streamline this a little bit. This looks a little bit jagged around here. So I might just try and do a little bit more to try and sort it out a little bit. Yeah, I think that feels a little bit more natural around that corner there. Just, yeah, so I guess that's okay. So that helps us out by simplifying, by getting these guys in here. This is about 1 million rubles, which is pretty pricey for us to do, but I wanna make sure we're getting this up and running. So that's the plan. So that was a pricey little piece. All of this rail track building was a little bit pricey. Okay, now let's quickly do our signals, right? So in and then I guess here we would like to do a chain signal out that way. In this way, we want out that way. Chain there, or out, basically out this way. So that gives us all of these maneuvers. Yeah, so that's all good. Similarly now, let's just create a couple of blocks. Probably just the one block in the middle here. I will try and squeeze these guys together a little bit. Okay, so that gives us those blocks. And then as we enter on this side, we can't get from this one all the way into there unless we provide a little bit more. So unless we do this one over here, and I guess maybe that's the right thing to do. Do this over here instead, and clean up the entire thing a little bit. I guess that's okay. Let's pay for that little piece there. So here we will chain there. I'm guessing chain here. We'll get to the other side in just a minute, and we'll go out into those directions. Okay. On the other side, I'm guessing, let's just start with this one. This one's going to be an easy one. We'll do this. We'll do that. Okay, so that gives us the ability to put these guys into all different directions over here. Okay, so they're coming in. I'm guessing we're going to want to make sure they can use both. So we'll do this and that. From over here, though, let's... Come on. How come I can't do a chain here? I need to be able to... Fine. If I... That's really interesting. It wouldn't want to do that anyway. If I take off the snapping, it doesn't do anything, right? Anyway, we should be able to do something there. We'll do that one there. Okay. From here, we are effectively running straight through here, to be honest. So, we'll do chain there, and it'll have to go into all different directions, right? And on this side, we'll have to do a mixed. Ooh. And can we mix it somewhere over here? We cannot. So we'll have to do some mixes over there, okay? And then I guess from here we're gonna go into that general direction. Okay, and then in here, I guess here we'll have a similar setup where we're gonna allow a bit of a mix to happen. Ooh, is this... How come... That's a bit of a pain. So here you want to be able to go out, or you want to be able to come in. But at the moment, we can't actually do anything here. Okay, so this is a bit of a disaster. So what we're after is we can't chain it all the way there. This is the issue. I'll have to come back to that. This, I'm not sure how we deal with this. I think this is about the right thing to do. These we'll chain up this one there, and we'll do that maneuver here. This one will be able to actively come in here. Okay, what we'll do is we'll do mixed here, and we'll clear off these two, and we've got the mixed on the other side, so that's okay. So you can come in and go out in either direction here. That's fine. As you come out of this one, just want to make sure we're setting everything up. So as we come out there, that'll be okay. This one will be looking to clear a few things. So if we clear there, this one I guess needs to... We're clearing this one, and then we may do a little bit of this. Actually, this one probably a chain, just to be able to get it into various directions. And then here we would like a chain there and out into that direction over there, right? So that kind of gives us everything we need in this area. Plus, this one wants to be chain here and that direction over there. And this one wants to be this direction, plus probably a chain over like so. That looks pretty good. I think the question would be is, I think we're going to add a bit of extra signaling right here and right there just to ease off a little bit on all of this stuff that's happening over here. So the only, well, we still need a few things on this side, so let's do that. So on this side, I think we're large enough to be doing a chain over there and get this one out on this side. I'm not sure we're going to do anything in here. We will want to do a bit of a mixed signal over here and a bit of a mixed signal over there. So we'll basically get this guy in and doing its thing. And then what we'll do is we'll chain this one like so and that. That should get us through this. We don't have any of this stuff built yet. So for these, I think we'll just add some stuff in here just so that we kind of close out this stuff so it's not too much of a hassle. Whether we can fit trains in here, I'm not too sure, but we'll do our best anyway to try and accommodate a little bit like that. Now, the only other thing that we're missing is we would like a mixed signal somewhere in here, and I get the feeling that I messed this up just a tad. I don't think I can get any closer, but that one potentially can be a little bit different. So I guess what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete that one. We're going to pay for this to get rid of this. The idea is that from here you should be able to, well, come in from that side, basically. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll try and do a mixed signal like here somewhere, and then we'll go back and try and make this to work. This one does not want. Okay, if we were to let snapping go, we try to. Yeah. That should. That'll work. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll pay for that little slither. So that should do all of our signaling should work. This is a fairly complex little slither through here. And I'm kind of tempted to squeeze in a little bit more signals in here, even though it'll just block it anyway. So I guess that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just pay for that up to there as well. So we just clean that up a little bit, so that we've got a bit of room to make a start. Okay, so we'll do that. All of this other stuff is in play, right? Let's have a quick another look. Okay, so from here we do need to have a little bit of a look. So this is giving us stuff into various different directions. So we do need to clean that up a little bit. Let's just have a look. Yeah. Okay, so this one's okay. And then we don't necessarily need to provide multiple different directions, but I guess we may do that. So from here we will do another chain like so. So at least this is gonna, well, what we should do is we should trim out these two so that they can still go into that direction. And then from here we'll just do that. So at least that does give us the option to continue construction in that direction, have these trains cut across into that way. But that's okay. So from here, actually, we don't no longer need that. So this will be a chain going this way and just a block signal going out that way. And we could either keep it all together here as one. I guess this is okay. It's probably going to be workable. So what we will want to do at least is do that. Make sure we can clear, clear this one. But then we will need to, actually, so let's just do standard like so. So this guy can run straight through and block this one. that one will have to kind of wait. Okay, I guess this is everything we need. So let's test it out and see if that works. So at the first point, we want to bring in some stuff. So the first one we want to do is bring in wood. We have wood available. Oh no, we don't have wood available because all of the wood gets moved through straight away. We don't actually do the whole wood thing. Okay, that's interesting. Can we do something? Wow, these helicopters are crazy noisy. So let's see. Can we do a little something? If we look at open storages, we want a small little open storage. That's too big. We want a small open storage, but not like... Wow, that's enormous. What does this look like? That's beautiful. I love it. This guy? Too big, guys. Too big. We need something way smaller than that. So we basically need something like this, right? And with something like that comes the potential for us to do this. Right? Actually, let's not do that. What we could do, we could do that. Why are you? We don't have a free excavator. Excavators over here? No? None whatsoever. They're all busy at work. But can we find something that works here? Does not want to reasonably try and doesn't seem to want to work. I mean, there's some angles that seems to want to work, but not close to the road network here. We don't necessarily need the helicopter to pick it up. So if I were to say do a little bit of this, right? Just to try and get... Come on. Please zoom it in a bit. It was we just had something that tied both of them together at the same time. Tiny movements here. There we go. And that's about right? Let's do that. I paid for that, but let's stop the payment there. This needs to be... We need to have a look at what's going on with our money. We don't seem to... Well, obviously I spent a lot of stuff, but we... Let's just do 0, 0, 0. Not that anything else will actually come in here, but we'll do that. So now at least we've got a little something going. We did set up some distribution here that we never ended up using. Okay, so we needed some cement trucks to come around. I wanted to have a quick look to see if under the rail side of things we could do a dry bulk pickup, right? Yeah, so could we do well, this is really... I mean, we have the rail here. We have a... it would be tight. That these buses are... I mean, if these buses weren't here, I would be able to squeeze it in there. So what I think we might do is we might want to move that so that we have the ability to use rail to move cement around, right? So I guess that's the plan then ultimately. So let me rebuild Lesa Construction Office 3. We'll grab this guy, move it over. I mean, Obviously, it's doing its job over there. But I'll move it over this way. We'll get moving on construction activities straight away to get this built. Once that's clear, we can get rid of that. In the meantime, do we have... I don't think we have anybody that can move cement around, right? Do we have cement trucks at all? Do we even have cement truck? To see finished vehicles. No, I don't see any cement trucks here. If we wanted to add a cement truck or two into the mix, do we have it? Cement. Concrete. I don't think we do. Okay, let's pop out of there. We'll see about a blueprint. If we come in here and say cement. Huh? Show all. Is it called something else? Or it's called a cement truck. Let's go over here. Cargo, concrete covered hull. Dry bulk tank. Okay. Dry bulk tanks. Okay, so we could pick something up. Just have a quick look. Do we have a dry bulk tank here somewhere? I guess no. I guess no. So let's just go back, buy ourselves a dry bulk tank. I think we're going to go with... This is 95 kilometers an hour. I think that's the one we're going to go with, even though pricey. I'm going to go with that one. We're going to grab the dry bulk tank, and we're going to build at least a couple of them, moving them forward into the queue so we can get them ready to go. Excuse me. Okay, the other thing we can also do is grab a couple of these, not dumpers. We should have open holes somewhere, right? Yeah, so grab me 2 open holes. Okay, move them over to our new facility over here, which will do both cement and it will also do the wood. Okay, so from here, we're going to say you will be picking up... I guess you can pick up from here, right? There. So you'll be picking up dry bulk storage over there, and you'll also be picking up wood from over this side. And then until such time as we can actually sort that out, you will have to just drive your way over here and unload. Maybe until, say... Well, we want you to be pretty full, right? So let's just do maybe 80% or something like that. Now, that's the one side of it. Cement, on the other hand, we'll hold off a little bit on, but that's effectively going to be the situation. Let's rename this guy just so we get an idea. So this is lesser cement and wood distribution. There we go. Something like that. As simple as that. So at least we can see what we're doing. Okay. So that is item number 1. So that should be up and running, doing its thing. We also want crops. Now, crops, we are not bringing crops in from anywhere, but let's have a look. We do have some import facilities. I need to keep an eye on this money situation. Honestly, I need to do that. So what is happening over here? So this is rail exports. That's not for the one for us. This is rail imports. Rail imports, we do have the kind of wagons that we need. So I may as well get these guys to bring in some stuff for us. So we can add an extra bit of assignment to you. But let's pause it while we do it. So you're going to come in over here, right? All the way at the end. You're going to want to unload there. And we would like you to unload crops only. That's the only thing you're bringing in is crops. If you bring in crops, everything should be good to go. And I'm happy that you can bring in like 50% of the crop. So 110 tons of crops kind of at a time. Okay? So that's the idea. So we'll bring that in. Nothing else is actively coming in. We do need workers to be able to get to these employment areas. So let's have a quick look. I guess, let's see. I don't think this will work. I don't think we'll be able to do anything reasonable here. We've got a little tower thing, right? Which we could try, but I guess it is not even kind of remotely feasible to work because it's clashing, right? So that's the issue. Do we have any no clash options? I guess that one's clashing also. A turnstile, interesting. A vehicle gate, some gates, some dirt road fences and the likes. Is this guy an anti-clash? By no stretch of the imagination. Anyway, we do have the ability, but they will need to come on over this way. So let's quickly have a look. So where are our paths going? It's over there and over there. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So if we said, not there. One here. Okay. And then we said one. Really? It doesn't want to. We said one there. I'm sure this will work. Yeah, absolutely. It does work. And then the last one kind of just pops out. On this side, and what we'll do is we'll finish that one off by tying it in over there. We'll tie this one in over here, and I guess these guys will just walk down there and then use all of this. For this, I'll go ahead and pay the 50k to just get all of this built. Not quite all of it, I guess. Didn't want to build these structures for us. That's okay. We'll build those, and we'll tie that one in, and we'll do something like that. So at least that gives us all of our pedestrian connectivity, and if we double check it, everybody can walk to their place of work. So once we run a train in here, we'll have some workers. We don't have wood, we don't have crops, well, obviously this is not working yet. We don't have this up and running yet, but do we have the pipes? No, the pipes are still coming along pretty slowly. I may be supporting that a little bit. Our money is in dire straits. I just want to make sure we're getting this up and running, right? Let me pay for that. That'll be pricey. Let me pay for this. Let me pay for that, so that at least we can just make a start here. Okay, everything being built. Yes. Okay. So presumably we will now start to see oil coming into this area at some point. Why this doesn't need to be power? Oh, we're still waiting on power to be installed over here. So that's the issue. We're still waiting on all of these guys to finish off. I don't really have the money to be paying for everything, so we'll have to have these continue to run ever so slowly and finish off at a bit of a snail's pace over here. But I guess we're pretty close. Hopefully we'll have it done reasonably quickly. I definitely want it in this episode, even if I have to pay for it. Getting all of these bits and pieces done. Bringing in water, getting the sewage lines, and getting the electricity in there is kind of critical for us to make that happen. Now, if I have a quick look at our distribution here, have you managed to go and do any imports? So you can load at the custom house whatever you see fit, as long as you have somewhere you can drop it off at, right? So crops should be on the agenda. I'm kind of tempted to grab another one of these guys, right, and just move it over here to come and help out things a little bit. How many wagons do we have? So we've got reasonable numbers of wagons. I would like us to start building some other wagons as well. Got too many hopper wagons, I think, over here. But anyway, that's okay. So did we manage to finish this? No, this is still slow going. What I will do is I'll pay for that slither, and then the rest of the crews can start building that so that we can effectively move that entire operation over this way and potentially build another piece in here. Now, we have the wood trucks there, so the wood trucks are busy doing their distribution. Did we finish off our cement guys? So 2 cement guys are busy being constructed at the moment. Okay. Now, what I did want to see is, so all of a sudden our import or our export started stopping. And I'm kind of wondering why that is. Is that because everything here seems to be working? These guys are working. Maybe they're not getting enough workers, to be honest. This seems okay. This is not filling up. We're really going full tilt on these guys, and we're basically struggling to keep pace with it, right? These guys are mining away like crazy. We're filling this up. We're filling this guy up, but then these are not keeping pace with the operation. So maybe what we could do is we could drop down just a tad, right? Maybe like a 160 there and a 160 on this side, just because we can't do more of that. So we're wasting those resources, right? All of this is staying full, so we shouldn't have a problem with the power side of things. So that's all good. Now, I do want us, so this is coming in nicely from our stuff, and this seems to be working, but I wouldn't mind, but anyway, we're not necessarily getting the coal out here in the reasonable amounts of time. But this is staying pretty full. So we should be running reasonable amounts of steel out of here, right? This should be filling up pretty quickly to be able to do some other stuff. So I guess that will see further stuff coming in. Now, another question that I have is, can we have a quick look over here? This is starting to see some oil come through, right? But we're nowhere close to getting the oil that we need in this area. Now, I don't think we can squeeze in even any extras, right? I think I've maxed it all out. So let's have a quick look. If I quickly grab the oil pumps here, maybe we can squeeze in 1 or 2 more. But realistically speaking, we're not really... It's maybe worth 1 or 2 that we can add in this area here, just to get a little bit more going. Oh, maybe even another one there, maybe 20%er. Anything out here in the sticks? Yeah. So maybe what we'll do is, let's see if we can't add in a little bit more love there for the guys. All right. Anything? That's not bad. And it would be powered. Ooh, look at this guy. Whoa, 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 whoa. That is happening. As soon as the autosave is done. That's a 60. This is almost 70. That is a 70 right there. Nice. Okay, I'm definitely doing that. I'm doing a squeeze on the 70 there. Definitely going to do that. Maybe we'll do some others. So, do we have any kind of gaps for the piping? I think we probably won't, because I've planned it out from this side. Yeah. So let's have a quick look. If we were to grab a little bit more here. Oh, okay. So maybe what we can do is we can actually run it over this way. It might be tight. It might be tight. So let's yeah, we may have a bit of trouble, but I'd be quite happy to squeeze one in there, just to get that little bit extra going. So 70 here is a really good number. It'll be 64 on this side, but no real way of tying in. So if we were to flip it around, say like this, I want to try and get that 70. Come on. Thought I had it. Anyway, 69 would be okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so that's a 70 there. We may even given that this is more stuff that we may want to tie into. Let's flip this one around. Try and find our max, which I guess is 33. I'm just thinking, was that one powered? Anyway, we'll do that. Okay, we've got those two. I'm not going to bother with these. So we will need a little bit of extra piping support here. Was this be powered or not? Let's just check that. But I guess it didn't look. It might not be powered. Let's have a quick look here. Oh yeah, power over there. No power whatsoever over here. So we'll have to have a bit of a look on power as well. Okay. So I guess what we can do is we can do something like this, where we tie them in, and then just conclude them into the other side there. I guess there's some room here. So let's do this. We'll run both of them underground to that facility there. So we'll do basically that. Let's just go underground so we can see. Yeah, that's the one. And we'll do that one. That's the other one. That's all good. And then we will run from here to there. And I guess that's the plan, right? So we'll do that. That should see us get a little bit more oil in place there, and at the same time we would like to. Oh, this is a something. It's a little something over here. Okay, that's an interesting one. I didn't quite appreciate that, and that's probably part of why. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll tie that one in there and in here. Okay, so at least we have that going for ourselves. Okay, so we can get the crews to start building all of this, and we'll tie in some additional oil capacity over here. So that should help us out at least a little bit. But we're still miles away from maxing this out in any way, shape, or form. But we are doing reasonable amounts there, and that should work. So this guy has got everything it needs over here. We're slowly waiting on all of this stuff, but I guess it's coming to the end of the episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go and finish off paying for this. Hopefully we've built enough of it so that it's not too pricey for us to finish off these last slithers. We'll do that one as well. See whether we have everything we need. We need to pay here, pay there, pay there. But I guess we built most of it. Let's see. Who's this guy? Oh, is this guy? That's going to be pricey. That is going to be pricey. Even this one. Going to be pricey to finish off these guys. Actually, I'm wondering why these were taking so long. Anyway, don't worry about it. The plan is that we do need to get that up and running. Okay, and I still need to finish off all of that, and then this should now be powered up, right? Yes. It's got problems, but it's powering up. Oh, we've got gravel issues as well. We need trains to come in with gravel. Let me pay for that one. Okay, so all of this. Is that not powered? Honestly, this is not powered? Where's my power? I thought we had power. Oh my goodness. We had power coming up to there. Okay. There's always a little issue. I think we'll power on this side as well, especially because that one is already kind of capped. Let's have a bit of a look at where our power supplies are going. So we may as well. We could potentially power from this side instead. I think that might be a little bit more appropriate, actually. We power over here. So let's do that, and I'll run quick power like that, and I'm going to pay for just these as well. Ooh, that wasn't quite the path I expected there, but anyway. So this should be powered. This should be powered. So you should be filling up with oil. You should be filling up with oil. So that's good. We've got wood. We've got water coming in. We've got buildings without drinking water. Oh, I guess we're waiting on one more little slither there. And then this one should be filling up with drinking water also. Excellent. So what do we have here? We've got crops. We've got that. So the only thing we're missing here is gravel and workers. Okay, so let's get our gravel over here. So gravel is an interesting one because we do have gravel that can be picked up, say over here. But I guess that's where we're exporting gravel. We can then, of course, pick up gravel over here by rail. Do we have a rail gravel pickup? Yes, we do. We do have a rail gravel pickup. So the plan, the intent would be that we run gravel from here to over there. So let's just find ourselves something that can run that. I'm hoping these... Oh, yeah, we did see those come in. This is exports. Did we have... We had another one over here. Yeah. This is the one. And it's got some hopper things, right? Let's have a quick look. It's got some hoppers, right? It's got some hoppers. Okay, so it has the coal pickup, steel pickup, brick pickup, prefab pickup, gravel loading. It's got it. And then we can go ahead and drop it off elsewhere. Coal and gravel drop. Interesting. I'll have to have a look at that. Why that potentially isn't working. But what I want to do is assign this spot over here as an unload location for gravel, please. Not quarried stone, gravel. Gravel is what we're bringing on over. And the question is, do we have sufficient vehicles? So I'll have a bit of a look to see if that guy is gonna start running. There we go. What is this guy doing? Gravel, and it's gonna go to the gravel drop. Yeah, so this guy should be doing what it is gonna do, getting our gravel to where it needs to go. Then we basically have everything we need, and this guy can run, but we do also need a few workers. So it's now, how many workers do we need in this area? Let's quickly have a look. So this guy is 700 workers, and that one is 200, so it's the big guys. Do we have workers available here? We do. Reasonable amounts of workers are available there. So let's grab some of our new train sets. I guess we don't have them here. So we'll have at least one of these train sets. Grab me this guy. And I'll send you over there. But then I will say add a new stop. You will pop in over here. And you will run to over there. Right? That's what you're going to do. So here you're going to load up on workers. Right? And here, yeah. And you're not going to... yeah, and on this side you're going to unload the workers. As simple as that. Okay. And then we can say, actually forget about that and just make a start straight to that journey there. I will also open up this line and we will say, we will call this the Sasselgrad, but I'm saving now, Sasselgrad chemical workers. There we go. So we'll save that line. It's going to bring in at least one train of workers so that we can see all of this stuff in action. We are still waiting on the gravel, but the gravel should be heading over to us fairly soon. Here, where was my gravel train? Oh, it's probably already out of here, right? This is it. Fully loaded with gravel. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. Now, I just wanted to check. I thought I was distributing elsewhere as well. I just wanted to check. So Lipical, the forward distribution office, was supposed to be getting gravel also. So we'll upload that to about 50. Let's just quickly go and have a look. Maybe there's a connection problem over here. So this guy is a gravel storage, and this is a gravel drop. So what is it saying? Oh, it's without a power supply, so that's the issue. So we're still waiting on. I think we have power over here, but we'll have a bit of a look. So that's a clear issue there. Okay, so the gravel should arrive. The workers should arrive fairly soon. So gravel is being popped up. Nice. And you should flip around and go back quite easily. Nice. So that's pretty good. You did not fill up with gravel. Oh yeah, it'll only draw when it actually has workers there. So we are using the water. That's fine. We could get an extra pump in place here so that we don't use our drinking water. But I think for now it's going to be okay. We are effectively fully loaded out on this stuff, on that stuff. This should be, loading up. That's nice. That's nice. Get that all loaded up. I'm hoping construction activities are commencing over here. We do need a bit more in terms of power. I may quickly pop that in while we wait for our first load of workers. So let's have a quick look. Where do we have some power? I mean, we need to bring in power. Power is where? Let's see. So here's the power running through here. And we don't have that much. So we could potentially squeeze some power out from this side. So we could potentially do a little something over here. I might just do that. Let's just squeeze that one in there. So at least we have that. I'll pause it for a second. Well, we shouldn't be pausing it, but anyway, we'll bring in one little slither. We still have a few spots, right? We'll bring in a little bit of power. Bring it like this, like that, and like that, and we'll get that tied in. I'll get the crews to build that. We want to save on the money a little. So let's get the crews to work on building this in due course. Okay, so we're bringing in the extra power. Let's have a look. So what's happening over here? Oh yeah. You would have just unloaded some workers. Yeah, look at this. The bridge is full of workers. Yeah, there they are, ready to work. That's a nice little screenshot. That might be our screenshot there. Okay, and then let's see this happen in action. We've got the gravel. We've got everything. Water is there. Sewage should be able to be processed. We'll have a bit of a look. We may be having too much sewage over here, but we should be producing chemicals at reasonable rates, and this guy is not seeing chemicals just yet, so I guess it needs to push chemicals out first. We'll need to fill up our internal storage. This guy will be able to load chemicals through here, but that's the issue, not too much of an issue. Now, what is happening with our sewage? The other thing that I'm just thinking is we don't have any waste facilities here. So let's quickly add the waste facilities. There's so much little things that we keep on running into. I would like the best of the best max out version of these things. This one, 156. Yeah, the 156 seems to be the biggest one. Could we get something that actually fits in here and also has 156? It is the large containers with paths, so I guess that's the one I'm after. I don't think that'll work in that spot there. But I guess this will work, and we should be able to quite comfortably tie that in on the other side as well. So let's give them the container storage over there. We'll get the extra paths in place. One there. And what we might do is just clear this one out for a minute while we extend the path over here. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll tie that one in like so, right? We'll pay for those, and we'll also pay for this just so that we don't get some issues with this guy. So here we would like to have at least a couple of biological wastes, maybe even 3 and something like that. That should generally be okay, right? And then we would like to unpause so that we can see everything working. Now, in terms of sewage, what is actually happening here? Let's quickly go down. We do have a direct sewage connection, so let's quickly have a bit of a look at our sewage flows. I guess I don't quite understand why it's not going out there. We have, I mean, this guy's not doing anything, is he? Are we seeing sewage flows anywhere? Over here we have some sewage flowing. We have a little bit coming through there. Maybe we're only seeing it every now and again, right? Very minor amounts of workers here at the moment. I don't know why this is actually doing what it's doing. This is filling up pretty quickly, actually. So let's let's drop the biological waste and we'll add a couple more hazardous waste. Something like that might be kind of appropriate. Okay, so that is running, guys. So we're up and running over there. We won't be seeing sewage tank is overflowing, health risks. Why? Let's just see. I think we might have a little slither not built. So this guy built. This is done. Aha, here we go. That's the problem. Finish that off. Okay, and now let's switch on the sewage flow again. Yeah, there we go. Now it's working. Tons of sewage flowing out at the moment. And I guess that will just do a little bit of this for a while until we've cleared that backlog. But I think once that's done, yeah, so the backlog's been cleared, and now we no longer have any real issues. Now it'll flow at a bit of a normal rate. So that's all good. We're still missing chemicals over here. But it'll in due course, the chemicals will fill up and it'll go on over there. So basically 1 day's worth of chemical production that we've seen here. But at least it's working. We'll get an extra train to run through here. We'll start to move the cement trucks over to where we want them. I guess they should be done. Yeah, so we grab this one and that one. And we'll quickly move them over to our new kind of distribution office over here. So move that one there and that one there. Once they're there, we should start seeing the cement move over to our forward area. We need to have a bit of a look at the power situation over there. And obviously these things are continuing to build. But yeah, so things are starting to make sense and look pretty good over here. So happy with that. We need a few more workers to arrive, but I guess we're pretty close to having all of this stuff running a little bit more effectively. And yeah, in the next episode, I'm really going to have a bit of a look to see if we can't maximize some of our productions so that we can do a bit more exports and get this number to look a little bit healthier. At the moment, it's not impressing me at all. But yeah, obviously we spent a little bit of money on building stuff. I will see you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button, leave your comments down below. Bye-bye!